film family, my Silver Screen Dudes family. Let's talk about this meltdown that's going on about The Last of Us Season 2. And no surprise, as with many of these things, I'm kind of caught somewhere in the middle and I see a lot of things going on here, but there's a few things which I find really quite misguided, and I'd like to discuss those. People are furious, not because the show sucks. It doesn't. Not because the writing is weak. It isn't. But because the actress playing Abby isn't, quote, buff enough, and Bella Ramsey still isn't giving pretty enough girl next door vibes. I mean, look, I don't mean to be rude, but there do seem to be a lot of people who are reviewing this show based on what look like no more than gym bro fantasies. Obviously, if that's not you, ignore that comment. But let me get into each of these. Let's start with Caitlin Dever. Yeah, she's playing Abby. She's not built like an Olympic weightlifter. And you know what? I agree. It's jarring as hell. Abby in the game is ripped. She's terrifying. Built like a freaking tank and looks like she could punch through drywall. Caitlin Dever? Not so much. But here's the thing. I actually think that this anger directed towards Caitlin Dever is somewhat misguided. First, I just want to address the overall vitriol going on towards her. Just because she's not big doesn't mean she can't kill this role. She is a phenomenal actress. Go and watch Booksmart, Dopesick, unbelievable. She's been serving emotional depth, trauma, rage, nuance, all the things that make Abby Abby, minus the build. And let's be real, this is acting. I don't think we need to get so hung up on muscle mass. To a degree. Here's where it's misguided. In the game, Abby arrives out of absolutely bloody nowhere, blindsides Joel and Ellie, and then you don't see her again for another 10 hours until you obviously take control of her, and then the game goes to great lengths to make you empathize with her and understand her story, making you obviously realize that in this world that Naughty Dog created, there are no good people. Everyone exists in this kind of gray area. Now, where the flashbacks in the game were so important, because you saw Abby's past before she got all tanked up, and then you understood that she became all tanked up in order to exact revenge. So the physique is a big factor in the game. However, with the writing of The Last of Us Season 2, they decided to reveal Abby's motivations right out of the gate. Some people may like that, some people may hate that. Okay, so they've slightly changed Abby. Is that good? Well, it's always jarring, as I said, but is that bad? Not necessarily. Let's see how the show progresses and let's see what Caitlin Dever does with this character. Around Abby, I think if there's anything to criticize, it's not her physique, it's the timing of which they introduced her backstory and her motivations. If you guys agree, let me know down below. Now on to Bella Ramsey. When she was slaying it as Lady Lyanna Mormont in Game of Thrones, the same people calling her too ugly to play Ellie were hyping her up like she was Arya 2.0. Now, she's non-binary. And magically, she's suddenly not right for the role. But let's cut the crap. It seems to me that the hate for Bella here isn't about acting. I never want to label people's reasons without actually having an interaction with them, which I welcome in the comments section, but it does feel like a bit of gender bigotry going on here. It's the same old don't make things political crew who go into DEFCON 1 the second someone's pronouns are different. And if that's you, that's wrong, man. Why are we still letting someone's gender identity hijack conversations about performance? This isn't a damn news segment about bathrooms. It's a show, a character, a narrative. Bella brings Ellie's trauma, confusion, recklessness, and rage to life really beautifully. And to be honest, she doesn't need to look like a hot cosplayer in order to bring all of those things to life. What I'm most disappointed at here isn't actually the fans who have maybe got a bit of outrage about this. It's the damn media outlets who are running with headlines about Bella Ramsey's gender and identity. And it's like, guys, can we talk about the show? Can we analyze the show? Can we critique the show? You don't want to make these big sweeping headlines about it because that's where it divides fans. However, rightly or wrongly, that is the end result. And I really don't think we're in a world now where we're talking about one of the most critically acclaimed games and game stories of all time, and people are discussing the fact that Bella Ramsey's non-binary. Like, who cares? She's non-binary, so what? Move on. And I mean that to everyone. You know, the hypocrisy is that I'm here discussing it and I'm preaching not discussing it. I'm well aware of how this looks and sounds. I'm just saying that so much of this conversation seems to be taken up by Bella Ramsey's non-binary identity as opposed to Bella Ramsey's actual acting. And again, that's wrong. You want to know what makes a show good? It's not peck size, it's not gender politics, it's writing, direction, cinematography, performances, pacing, emotional weight, score, theme, storytelling, all of which The Last of Us delivers on in spades. And we're only 2 episodes in. People are out here burning it down over casting before the story's even had a chance to breathe. And I mean people who have obviously not played the game, because if you've played the game, you know which direction the story's heading in. And if you're burning it down when you know which direction the story's heading it in, then I would say further shame on you. Like, let this play out. Let's let the suspense play out. Let's stop rage posting that Abby didn't do pull-ups in episode 1. The Last of Us is one of the best stories ever told in gaming. Period. It's about revenge, trauma, survival, humanity, and the grey areas we all live in. And the HBO show is adapting that with care and vision. But the fandom, some are actively trying to sabotage something they claim to love, just because it doesn't feed a checklist. Caitlin Dever, I believe, is going to crush it. Bella Ramsey already is. And the rest of us, we're here for the ride, not the outrage. So unless you're mad about something practical, the writing, the pacing, whatever, take a beat before typing Abby too small for the 100th time. The Last of Us 2 so far has been a great ride. Though I go back to my point from Caitlin Dever, has been on a writing level possibly misguided in terms of when it introduces Abby's backstory. Now, if you want to have a discussion about that, let's do it. Let's jump on an Instagram live, a TikTok live. Let's have a debate about this. But this rage baiting, man, like, oof, easy. Let's just try slow down and enjoy the show. Big things happen in episode 2. Let's see what happens in episode 3. I want to hear from you. Are you excited for the rest of this season? Is Abby's size really bothering you? If so, why? Like, break it down for me. Let me hear why it's bothering you. And also, what are your views on Bella Ramsey? What do you think of her performances? If it's not working for you, that's cool, man. Just let me know why. What's not working for you about it? Leave all that down in the comment section below. I hope you guys keep watching this series and don't get too sucked into the rage. But for now, I'll see you on the next video. Long love cinema and long love TV as well, I guess. Bye for now.